you scared of nigga, son.
You light skinned.
No, he think he dark skinned. He think he's like chocolate.
He thinks he's chocolate?
I just look like this on the outside. On this side.
Yeah.
You heard Drake, light skin, but I'm still dark, nigga. Play that, matter of fact. Run that.
Absolutely.
Trash.
We're not going to do that.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Are you live?
Yes, I am
Okay.
live. We good? What up?
What's good?
What's good? Okay, let me go ahead and get it started. What's up, y'all? This is Toya V, and you are tuned in to Logic Over Emotions. And I have Bree on the call lines.
Hey.
And the man of the hour is...
Crown Chief. Let's do it.
All right, so let's go ahead and see what he picked. I guess we're going to see.
Right, but what needs to happen is we need to be a bit more communicative. We need to be holding each other a little more accountable in terms of things like, again, taking care of your old lady, raising your kids, things of that nature. Like, if he's not doing those things, you shouldn't even be hanging with him, for real. Like, that's my take on it. And until the boundaries get set like that, we're going to keep having the same problems. But men, we not as involved in each other's personal lives as we should be, and that accounts for that problem.
Y'all, I'm so sorry. Oh gosh. Hold on, y'all. We're having an issue. Hold on 1 second. Well. All right.
Ooh.
Log out of that live. I'm coming. And start the live over. That one.
Why? It's for bloopers.
Okay. This is nothing blooper about this, but okay.
It is a blooper.
It's not a blooper. For this to come apart, it's not a blooper. To me, it's not. But you know, like I said. All right. Maybe that's the reason, because it's not centered.
It wasn't centered.
Okay. All right. Sorry, y'all. We had some issues, but we back.
And we back.
Okay, let me tell you all a little bit something. I am knocking over everything. You hear me? I mean, I've been knocking over everything since I got in this. All right. We're going to start this all over. All right. All right. What's up, y'all? This is Toya V, and I just want to say welcome to Logic Over Emotions. And I got Bree on the call lines.
Hey.
And the man of the hour is who?
Crown Chief. What's good?
Yes. So let's see what topic he picked.
Right, but what needs to happen is we need to be a bit more communicative. We need to be holding each other a little more accountable in terms of things like, again, taking care of your old lady, raising your kids, things of that nature. Like, if he's not doing those things, you shouldn't even be hanging with him, for real. Like, that's my take on it. And until the boundaries get set like that, we're going to keep having the same problems. But men, we not as involved in each other's personal lives as we should be, and that accounts for that problem.
All right. So, why did we pick this topic?
That's a funny story. So, let me sit up real quick. I did a poll, and I asked all of my homegirls, what do you want to hear men talk about on a podcast? You know what they told me? Nobody had a real answer. But the consensus was, here's what we don't want to hear. We don't want to hear men get on the podcast and start bashing women. Then I heard one of them say, how about y'all hold other men accountable? And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So that's how we got on the topic today. Today we're going to be breaking down the real accountability. I'm assuming this is what the females want to hear. Men holding other men accountable when it comes to taking care of your kids, taking care of business, being a stand-up guy, taking care of your woman, and just any other things or any other questions or concerns you may have. So let's do it.
All right. So, real quick, if you still want to use your phone and you actually want to stay tuned in, you can go to YouTube and search at Logic Over Emotions Pod, and you can watch us live on YouTube. Again, it's at Logic Over Emotions Pod. So search that in YouTube, and you'll be able to watch and still use your phone. Anyway, so how you want to go about this? We're gonna start with
the 4 levels of accountability, right?
What are the 4?
The 4 levels is number 1 is passive.
Mm-hmm.
So what that looks like is one of my homies bring up something that you don't agree with. Let's say, yeah, man, my kid's birthday coming up. I ain't giving him nothing because she ain't do this and this and that. And you, by not saying anything, you just not miss it. Maybe you don't agree with it, but you just let it slide because you don't want to kick up no dust. That's passive accountability. Yeah. Meaning you thought something about it but didn't say nothing, right? That's passive.
Okay.
The next form of accountability, we call that emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you having a conversation with your guy and he say something you don't like, and you like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that, and y'all go into a back and forth without understanding his point of view. That's emotional accountability.
Mm-hmm.
What I like to go for is the last 2, direct accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say we're having a conversation, and one of my guys telling me about him not taking care of his kids because of such and such or whatever. I instantly okay, I let him finish, and I'm like, hey, I would never do that to my son.
Right.
I would never. That's not how real men operate. So that might look like a conversation, like a sidebar, a real sit down, not an emotional back and forth.
Right.
Okay, so that's a good way to doing it. But the best way, by far, would be what I like to call structured accountability, aka culture accountability, aka just being who you are, living in your truth. So you, as a man, you walking around, living in your truth, being a stand-up guy that you are, anything that doesn't align with what you stand for is going to fall off. Right. So my friends seeing me take care of my kids and seeing me take care of my girl, or seeing me handle business and do everything I'm supposed to do, at some point, you don't even need to be accountable because those type of people don't want to be around that. Okay, so that's the level we need to get to. Basically, the guys that's in your circle that's not doing what they're supposed to do, they're just no longer there. It's no longer your problem. And it doesn't mean we're not friends. It just means we're not talking on the phone. I still love you, and I see you, we shake hands, but we're not talking on a daily basis because we're not aligned. We're not linking up. We're not traveling because we don't really have that much in common. You're not even taking care of your kids. You're not even trying to make a future for yourself. You're not building a legacy. You're not trying to build wealth. You're not working on the things that I'm working on. So that's what I think men really need to strive for, because if you're handling your business, the wrong people don't even want to be around you.
Facts, because they have to level up.
100%.
Okay, let's go with 1, passive.
Passive. Now that's what I like to call, you know how all the men want to act like, I'm not a yes man, I'm not a yes man, I'm not a yes man. But here's the thing, they got this thing called unspoken yes man.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're allowing your buddy to do something you don't agree with, you're a yes man. If you know he's crashing out and you still have him in your circle because it's beneficial and you're not going to say nothing about it, you are a yes man, you are a passive accountability, you are the lower standard of a man that there is.
Not the lowest.
The lowest of low. Lowest of the low.
Damn. Oh, excuse me.
Scum.
Scared.
Scum.
Okay, so as passive, so I'm just gonna, because this is a platform for men to speak and women to listen, but we also want to understand.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about a passive guy, you're talking about like a man who will see a woman getting beat by a man and then he just walk away.
So that's a difference between a stranger getting beat by a woman and then your homie beating on a woman you know better, because like I'm a firm believer, stay out of folk business.
Right.
Depending on the situation, I'm not gonna stop. If I see a stranger beating on a woman, I don't got nothing to do with that, because usually when that happens, I can go over there and try to break it up, and they both turn on me. I don't know them, you know.
Right.
Now my homie, that's a whole different story.
Right.
I don't beat on women. None of my homies are gonna beat on women. So if that comes up, it's gonna be a conversation, and if I see it, it's gonna stop, and it's not gonna happen around me.
Okay.
So somebody passive in that scenario would be I'm at my friend's house, and I see him beating on his girl,
And you just sit there and look.
and I just sit there and look. That would be passive. Like
Okay.
I don't agree with this.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a level of passive. There's a passive of it's more so passive depends on where you at and who it is, basically. So no, right, because you just said if I'm out in the street, I'm not really getting into that information, right? I'm not gonna bother them. So it's not necessarily passive. It's that you making a wise decision at this situation, but you seeing your boy, like, you know, curse his girl out or something like that, and you not saying anything. That's you being passive.
Or just accepting it, because I may not have to say anything in that moment, but if I don't get up and leave, and it's a change in, like, something that happens, then that's passive. Now let's not loud. There is passive, but what we're talking about is passive accountability. When we talk about the strangers, I don't know them to hold them accountable.
Right, yeah, but I wanted to make sure that it wasn't being passive if you did that.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Mind your business is mind your business.
Yes, so I'm just making the, to clear,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm here to understand, right?
100%.
Yeah. All right, so now let's go to the next one.
So the next one is it's an emotional charge accountability, meaning you know, let's say I know my guy's like this, and he says something, and we just start having an argument about it. That's it's a little bit better than passive, but that's not really gonna get. That's not gonna get your point across. What you wanted to achieve is not gonna happen when you have emotion behind it. Because we're having a conversation, then we just start arguing because that's not what thing. That's not how you should do it either, in my opinion. So that's more of an emotional accountability. It just comes up. Now we arguing, we disagreement, and that typically happens. And that happens and I know I said men holding men accountable, but I also want to extend it to just everybody, people in general. Maybe you holding your friends accountable as women. Maybe I'm a guy and I have a female friend and I'm holding her accountable. Maybe we could also talk about with accountability comes with sometimes you just not aligned, and you might have to have a friendship breakup. And people,
and that could happen in the emotional part, right? Because
100%.
both of y'all can't control y'all emotions to 100%. Talk about what y'all both. So that's an unalignment, right?
Yeah, and that's what happens a lot. And I would say I've been privy to a lot of female conversations, and I would say that's what happens on the women's side a lot. The emotional accountability. Females have a conversation with each other, and let's say one don't agree with the other side, and it's just kind of more of an attack than a conversation. So the intent was good. I'm trying to hold you accountable, but the way you went about it may not have been the best way, because it's coming from a emotional side and not like I'll pull you aside. I'm really care about this topic. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what emotional accountability will look like.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
And we talk about direct, which I love. Direct is like, hey, we seen a problem. I didn't want to just bring it up because this is a touchy subject. Like I said, the one I like to talk about is men not taking care of their kids, because that's a phenomenon, right? And I do want to shout out men, because millennials, black dads are doing 100% better. It's a study that went out, and then we doing a thing. So this has gotten better over time, but there is still times where you need to sit your homie down and have a heart-to-heart with them. And the post that we was talking about was like, a lot of times men relationships are different than women. We don't really talk about a lot of personal stuff. We get together, have a few drinks, talk about maybe some business, some females, or sports. And then we go about a day. I don't know how you really doing. I don't know about like a lot of the deeper stuff that women talk about, because this is just my homie. We just catching up, drinking, smoking sports. Then I can go home and know a lot about him, but I don't know nothing he got going on personally.
But, okay, so we have someone that says that you should have a brotherhood, but I know
100%.
So you're telling me some men don't even have a brotherhood where they can open up like that.
Well, most men at some point maybe had a brotherhood, but as we know, life gets in the way, right? Now, a real brotherhood, it never goes away. They're almost like a phone call away. And sometimes just having those long conversations with a brother That's accountability conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I've been blessed because a lot of my guys, they are on the right path, they doing the right thing, and we hold each other accountable to the utmost, like up here, almost over accountability. So I've been blessed with that, but I know a lot of men that haven't. And I have been, what's the word? Every level of accountability,
Mm-hmm.
I have taken a part of every level. There's been things that I didn't want to say because I didn't want to offend nobody, but then I turned around and was like, you know what? I gotta say something because I want to be true to myself.
Mm-hmm.
If I just act like this wasn't an issue, and I think a lot of men just gotta start having those conversations, and the ones they're not gonna change, like they've been doing this forever, you might have to put a little distance. And when I say distance, that doesn't mean you still not my brother. That doesn't mean we can't chop it up every blue moon. But you're not going to be the person that I'm talking to every day. You can't be in my actual circle with certain behaviors, but I'm still not going to turn my back on you because of a certain relationship that we have. That makes sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, why do you feel like there's a lack of accountability when it comes to men being HOEs?
So, the lack of accountability when it comes to men being quote-unquote whores, right?
I spelled it because you're not supposed to say it.
Oh.
Well, you spelled a curse word. He said the politically correct word.
I said the politically correct.
But I spelled it though, but it's okay.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
okay.
I use the WHORE one. All right.
Okay,
So listen.
you.
So here's the harsh truth. Men don't hold men accountable when it comes to being hoes because we was taught that's cool. You can only hold people accountable to your own standard.
Right.
So I'm not gonna shun somebody or hold somebody accountable for something that I might be partaking in as well.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now, granted, there is a way to go about it.
Or what happens if that was a part of your life and you're not doing it anymore? So do you feel like because you're not doing it and you used to be about that life, you decide, well, I used to be about that life and I changed too and I see a better way, you still not going to say something to the friends that were doing it?
That's a great question. So what that looks like is this. If you're a man that used to, let's say, we used to run the streets together.
Mm-hmm.
And we was getting on all the HOEs, right?
Yeah. You done already said it. I just label it E. Don't worry about it.
Okay, all right. So let's just say that's what we did, right? At some point, if this is your real life brotherhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
At some point, y'all grow together.
Right.
Now, sometimes that look like one of them getting married,
Mm-hmm.
and going against that, and it might look like another one still on that. Now, there is a correct way to do it. I don't shun you for being a HOE. What I shun you is for not being play about it, right? You can be a hoe and still not a lot of females. You can keep it a buck and still have your way. So I'm an advocate for that, but I'm not gonna judge you for doing your thing.
Right.
It's more so you don't have to lie.
Right.
I judge you for lying
Mm.
and being a simp and doing like just don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your real question though, why don't men hold each other accountable for being HOEs? Is because they are on that same wavelength. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And I said that, but I'm saying that person that changes. You see what I'm saying? Like, do you just like, oh, because I have elevated, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave my homies in the street.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you what that looks like. Let's say you outgrow your friends, because that's what it sounds like. Let's say you have a group of friends that's still on that.
Mm-hmm.
What ends up happening, which is more of a structured accountability, meaning now I'm not hanging out with y'all like that.
Right.
Y'all not telling me about your escapades on the phone anymore. So a lot of times when because I have a homie like that. He got married. He just not privy to those conversations no more.
Right.
So he can't even hold me accountable because I know what type of time he's on.
Mm-hmm.
He don't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
He don't get the phone call when I crack some new work because. No, I'm just being real. No, I'm just saying.
That's a new one.
He don't get the phone call because I know he living right. You know what I'm saying? So that's what structured accountability is. I'm shielding him away from that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference. Now, on the same token, I could be out here in the streets, but if I see him and he's married and he tells me he's on a certain type of time, and I see him not behaving on that same type of time, that's my chance to correct him, because it like it has to be another tier, because yeah, I'm not married and I don't I'm not having to be faithful to no one. You are, and these are your morals.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm holding you accountable sometimes for your own morals.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's not always like as men you can agree to disagree, but some stuff you need to just stand on. Like as men, what my grandma say, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And when that being the case, then you got to hold them accountable for the choices that they've made, and that might be one of the reasons why you are a brother in their life, because they know that you will do certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Because I've known a few people where they're like, oh, you can't go out with Jonathan. Like, you can go out with Chris, but you can't go out with Jonathan.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And so, do you feel that? Well, you said people that are, men that are cracking stuff or whatever. What did he say? What did you say, Bree?
He just said cracking something new. Something new and shiny.
Yeah.
Something new and shiny.
You get your first little toy to play with. Get your, maybe.
So,
Crazy.
okay, so let's go to the next one.
Okay. Then, what we said? We said passive, emotional.
Yeah.
We did direct. And then we go to the culture, which is structured with who I am as a person, and my standards is going to prohibit anybody that's not on the same wavelength to even want to be friends with me.
Mm-hmm.
You almost become hard to hang around, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we all have those friends. You got those friends where you like, oh, I'm not inviting him because they don't drink. That becomes a standard no matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once you living in your own truth,
Mm-hmm.
the only people that's want to be around you is the people that's alignment. And that's true accountability right there. When you don't even have to check people for certain things, because this is just our culture,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is just what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, let's just take jobs, for example. Let's say we work at ABS. We hold each other accountable because everybody does their job.
Mm-hmm.
So don't nobody really have to check nobody else,
Right.
because it's a well-oiled machine. So when you have a brotherhood of complete structure and everybody on the same wavelength, you don't have to be passive, you don't have to be emotional, you don't have to be direct. It's just what's understood don't got to be explained.
So we have Coach Cotton on the YouTube live. She asked, "Are we referring to friendships or acquaintances to be held accountable?" And she said she's asking because if the relationship is closer, a friendship, would the approach to not call them up in their behavior be more passive accountability or avoidance? She said, "Call them up" is a phrase that she used because she doesn't believe in calling people out. Uplift, not put down.
Mm-hmm. So if I'm hearing this correctly, she's trying to figure out if she should hold people accountable that's not in her direct circle. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what I'm thinking. So yes.
It depends on what kind of person you want to be. Some people don't want to the responsibility of holding everybody they come in contact with accountable, and I understand that. It's almost like when you go to church and you a firm believer and they tell you to preach the word to everybody you come in contact with. Nobody want to do that. So you can live your truth. You can live your truth without having it affect the people's closest to you, and the people that if you feel like they need it, I would say go for it. But you don't have to hold them accountable if they're not that close to you, or what they're doing is you don't deem is going to affect you. But it's nothing wrong with it either. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you need to just read the room. Kind of know who you can hold accountable or not. Like with my coworker today, he had a little situation. We had a talk. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a talk, and but I knew that I could do that with him. But with other people that work, they could have had the same situation. I may not have said, anything or whatever, depending on who it was. So I know you just kind of know who you can or cannot hold accountable. And since he's looking at the live, we do have a few little comments going on. First of all, Crack Some New Work has been reposted twice. It's amazing the things that y'all hear and want to comment on. You know.
Well, thank you for helping me. Y'all did it to help me. I appreciate it.
Okay. Also,
y'all got my back.
Ace Alpha said accountability is needed amongst your circle, especially amongst us fellas. You don't have to tell your boys what to do, but suggesting what's right is enough.
100%. So I love that he said that, because maybe approaches like a guy's playing you like, yeah, and I just like to bring up the kid one, because there's a lot of them just terrible with this.
Okay.
I'm not taking care of that. I'm not sending this money because this I'm into it. And I'm like, dang, that's kind of crazy, man. If my baby mama called me and asked me something, I'm doing this.
Right.
So you're challenging them without it being like telling them what they should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what great leaders do anyway. You don't tell
You're
somebody
triggering them to reevaluate or self evaluate.
100%. So now, worst come to worst, maybe they don't change, but guess what? They don't bring that up around you no more.
Right. Because they know where you stand.
Because you're not going to feed into whatever the delusion it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what needs to happen too. If somebody keeps calling you and telling you about something, what's so funny?
Because you keep burping.
No, somebody keep calling you, talking to you about something that you don't really care for, and you don't really make a stance on it, and you feel some type of way about it, that's passive. And that's where you don't want to be in accountability.
So what happens if you have that one friend that everybody unloads on? Like, say for instance, you have Coach Cotton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coach Cotton's a very good listener, right? She may say things and then she may not, but she determines, hey, at this moment, this person is unloading. You see what I'm saying? They just need someone to listen to. So when do you know in the midst of that, when you're like, okay, my homeboy is just unloading right now, he needs to talk to me, this is not a direct moment, or you know what I'm saying, or this is not a structured moment, maybe I have to be passive in this moment because they're venting, there's some things that I don't agree, and you bring it up later, or do you just say it then regardless if they're venting or not?
That's a great question. So it's a rule I like to live by, because I've been one of those people in people's lives that they call to unload. And the one thing you can do to check the temperature is let them unload, let them get everything they need out, and when they get done talking, hey, did you want to vent or did you want my advice? Mm-hmm. And that powerful statement alone.
Was that a ding?
Yes, he got a ding.
Yeah, that powerful statement alone will teach you everything you need to know. If they say they need to vent, you keep quiet. All right, let them talk. And
okay.
Go ahead. And the moment they say they need the advice, you give them your pure, unfiltered advice because they asked for it. And on top of that, once they give you permission, now they can receive it. Mm-hmm. And that's where a lot of not in just friendships and relationships in general, a lot of people, they don't ask that question. Hey, were you just want to vent, or did you want my take on this? And that little bit right there is a whole heap of difference.
You know what I would say? Men, that is a good thing to do with your woman. Because I know a lot of times women just vent, and if you say, do you want me to, I just called to vent. That's it.
Yep,
you know what I'm saying? And then it's just like, she just wanted to just
get this off.
Yeah, get this off. Because sometimes women don't even want you to fix anything. They just want you to be their girlfriend for a few minutes.
Can you just listen at home for a second?
Most of the time, 99.99999% of the time, they just want you to hear.
Okay, back to men.
Shake your head.
Back to men. That was just a pointer that I wanted to put out there because it also goes with female male relationships. But okay, you have any more questions or comments?
No. Coach Cotton asked for we taking callers, but she has. I put the number in the chat. She ain't called in yet. But
are you connected though?
Yeah, I'm connected.
Okay.
She asked, but she was saying like she loves that like the question, are you venting or do you want me to weigh in? Like she think that's a good way to move about it. But the chat is like last time I said the chat was quiet. They got offended. They started talking. So y'all quiet tonight. Y'all are quiet. I see the numbers going up. I see people looking like they logging in, logging out, or whatever. But like nobody's saying nothing. Like how y'all feeling about this? Like are y'all holding y'all male friends accountable? The men, do y'all hold y'all male friends accountable? Like what are your thoughts on that? Oh, Coach Cotton, it's in the IG live. The phone number, but it's 404-457-9923 for anyone who would like to call in and share your thoughts on this topic.
So now let's talk more about the structure. Okay. Do you have a married friend?
I do.
Is most of your conversations with them structured?
100%.
And what do you get?
It's like he in court or something.
Yes.
She said talk.
I do not regulate.
Talking to Mike. Speaking of Mike.
Yeah, speaking of Mike. It helps me. But anyway, y'all laughing and I forgot what I was gonna ask you. Okay, so do you mostly call him when you want structured advice, and then or do you even call him for the foolishness too that you be doing?
So just because somebody is not where you at in your life, don't mean you can't have healthy banter with them pertaining certain subjects. Now there is certain boundaries. There's certain things that I'm not going to share with him out of respect for his marriage, and I was in a wedding, so I have a sisterhood with his wife as well. So it's just a respect level, and I'm saying all this to say everybody's different.
Right.
But a good rule of thumb is choose people, and now at this grown age, and I know we grew up with people, but choose people that align with you, and the ones that don't understand, let them understand what side you're on. So it's no question. Some people not even gonna call me with certain things because they know I'm not going for it.
Right.
And that's what you should strive for your accountability to look like. So yeah.
So do you feel like when men don't have accountability that puts them in a higher chance to be depressed?
I ain't never thought about that. Let's unpack that.
What'd you ask?
If somebody don't hold you account, you know what?
If somebody is not holding you accountable, like if there's no one around you holding you accountable, can that lead you to depression? Oh yeah, I know I'm not a man, but I think so. We have a caller.
I don't think you're Bluetoothed in.
It says I am. Hi, this is Shay with Logic Over Emotions. Who we speaking with? It's not up. Hold on 1 second. It says that I'm.
I can hear her a little bit.
Say something.
Well, she got me whispering.
I'm sorry. We having a few technical difficulties.
Just put it up. Is the volume up all the way? Cause you heard her, right?
I heard her.
Yeah. Okay. So say something now.
Yeah. You put it on speakerphone?
Yeah, I just put it on speakerphone because the Bluetooth wasn't working.
Okay. Go ahead.
Hey, you got some thoughts on the topic tonight?
Yes. I was now because I waited so late to call in. Y'all, I couldn't find the number, so I'm so sorry. But I wanted to ask the guest when he was talking about the behavior of like his friends. I wanted to get clarity on if he were referring to friends or just acquaintances, because my question was related to if it's a friend and if they're both engaging in being the word that we're spelling out, the HOE. Is it still not okay to hold your friend accountable, even though you guys could be doing the same behavior? And still, is that coming across as passive accountability or being avoidant?
That's a great question. So what I would say to that is, it's kind of hard to, if I'm trying to hold somebody accountable for something that I'm not doing, it's a level of hypocrisy that's in that, right? It's like do as I say, not as I do. But the reason that even got brought up is she was asking why don't men that are HOEs not holding each other accountable? It's because they're on the same wavelength. Like, I'm not gonna tell you to stop doing something that I'm doing. You know, only way it can be seen as passive, Cotton, is if they're doing something that I don't agree with, and then I don't say nothing. If they're doing something that I'm with too, then we just are two men on the same wavelength, and neither of us are holding each other accountable in that instance. You see what I'm saying? Because in the same token, they might be HOEs or whatever, but they might both still, let's say they got kids and they both taking care of their kids. You know, but maybe one of them, if one of them don't take care of his kids, the other one will step up and be like, hey, bro, that ain't what we do. But in the same token, him and that homie might still be running the streets together because they're on the same wavelength. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like saying birds and feathers flock together, and that's true. Because if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, it makes sense for me to surround myself with guys that's doing what they're supposed to do as well. And doing what you're supposed to do is subjective. Maybe me and my crew thinking HOEs is doing what we're supposed to do, but that's our level of accountability for that circle. Does that make sense?
Yes and no, but it's a lot to unpack. But I like how you kind of use that example of your friend circle doing that. But I get your point.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Thank you, Coach M. Cotton.
Thank you for calling.
See if you can Bluetooth in again. Okay, so
I got.
Go ahead.
I said I got one more question. I got a question that's about the same thing, but it's a little bit different. So, do women hold women accountable the same way men do, or is it different? Does it follow those kind of steps as well, or do y'all have a different method?
I think I hold my friends accountable.
I think it depends on what type of person you are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? Who you hang around, how you're raised. Because if your mama doesn't keep you accountable, you didn't learn accountability at a younger age. You see what I'm saying? So if you can't do nothing wrong, if you have a mother or a father that was like, oh, you can't do nothing wrong, you're not going to know accountability. You're just going to do whatever you do. And then when somebody does go against it, it's like, what are you talking about? I can't do no wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't think, but that doesn't stop me. Your thoughts on your thoughts on your actions or lack thereof tied to how you grew up. That don't stop me from holding you accountable.
Right, but what I was saying that the people who were raised like that, they're not going to hold anybody accountable because they wasn't hold accountable.
Accountability.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Because if I don't, as a child, if I'm like, no, you did mess up, you need to fix that, right? Okay, I know that there's a consequence to my actions, or there's a correction to my actions, right? But if I'm given the leeway of everything is right, I don't make mistakes. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna receive it because to me, I don't do no wrong. There's, you know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? I don't have, what do you mean? So they already don't even know how to accept the fact that they did something wrong because in their head, they're perfect. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I get what you're saying. I was just saying, I don't care what you think about.
Well, I'm talking about the.
I know you're talking about the person that like we're trying to like that needs to be accountable for their actions. Mm-hmm. I'm saying as a person, as a friend that's trying to hold you accountable for your actions. I don't care about how you grew up. Mm-hmm. I don't care about how perfect you think you are or whatever. Like if I'm really your friend, I'm here to help you be better. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like as long as I'm not telling you nothing like crazy or or like that has a lack of values, lack of morals, like I'm gonna hold you accountable. If I feel that it's something that not necessarily you might not even be doing anything to hurt me, but you may be doing something to hurt yourself. I'm gonna say something about that, but I'm not gonna be like rough or mean about it or whatever. I'll be blunt, I'll be stern. But I'll speak it like I'll give it to you in a way that I know that you'll be able to understand.
Right.
Like, I know, like, because both y'all my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk to Darius a certain way, and I can talk to you a certain way, but I can't talk to y'all the same way.
Right.
Because it's not going to be received.
Right.
Right? So but yeah, I'm going to hold you accountable.
And I think it's just who you are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You have people that don't care. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's just Tasha. Tasha, that's just Tasha's behavior. Tasha always do that. I mean, why are you trying to correct Tasha? That's what Tasha does. You know what I'm saying? You just have sometimes we have those friends that won't take any type of
accountability
for anything that they do. You know what I mean? So I would say yes, but it would probably be different. It would be worded a little bit different.
I think that, like, overall, like, for what you was at, where you were asking, do women hold their friends accountable? I think that women do it more than men do.
What I would say,
I think that just from my experience.
What I would say is, from my experience, men typically have longer brotherhoods than women. So, only thing I can derive from that is maybe women do hold each other accountable more, and that tends to maybe sever the ties of the friendships. And that's probably why men are able to have relationships longer, because we don't hold each other accountable. We might not even know what.
There's no depth to it.
Exactly. It's not as much depth than like a female and female. You know how female, y'all might talk on the phone 3 hours in a day. I might text my homie, hey, pull up at a bar and we chill. You might sit there and I'm talking about nothing, but
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that can go. It takes longer to get depth, meaning it's gonna take longer to build like an actual brotherhood, and it's gonna be take longer for me to hold them accountable as well too, because I don't even know what he got going on, maybe. And for women, y'all meet somebody and y'all basically start dating, and you know everything about everything, and then once y'all feel like you don't align, maybe y'all not friends no more, you know. And I know that's not everybody, but just from my experience, that's what I've seen mostly. Like, a lot of women don't really have the same friends. I got some of the same friends I had from childhood. I don't really see that a lot. I see some, but it's not as much as I see males building their brotherhoods.
I think with women, because we're emotional beings and because we also grow as individuals, I think sometimes you do outgrow your friend faster in a female relationship, because we do talk more, we do seek, you know, understanding and growth. So, like, say for instance, me and one of my friends, right? We've been friends for a very long time. And I'm more direct. If I have a problem with you, I'll say something. With her, she won't say something until it got really, really bad. You know what I mean? And then I would be like, well, why didn't you tell me when it first initially happened? Because then I don't know what I'm doing wrong unless you tell me I'm doing wrong. If I'm doing something to hurt your feelings, you let me know, right? So at one point, she just stopped talking to me. At this day, it's been 5 years, 6 years. I still do not know what I did, and I'm willing, and I'm willing to fix it. I was like, well, like, even if we're not friends anymore, what did I do for you to just stop talking to me? So sometimes it be stuff like that why long relationships don't go forward, because the other person don't want to fix it, or they don't want to face it. You see what I'm saying? Where men, y'all have that situation like, yo, bro, like, that ain't gonna ride. Y'all gonna say something. I don't know any man right now that does not know why they do not talk to one of their homeboys. You see what I'm saying? Like, I haven't met a man that was just like, yeah, Chris was my friend, and then all of a sudden Chris didn't answer my phone number no more, my phone call anymore. Chris just disappeared. I have never heard that, but I've heard that with women, where one woman, even in my life, like I said, 6 years later, I still don't know what I did.
And a lot of times, women, just by nature, y'all are more passive. Men, I fought a couple of my best friends. we had to get it off. We let it out, squash it, and we back friends. A lot of times, y'all fight y'all friends. Y'all not coming. It's no
If me
more.
and my friends come to blows,
Yeah,
we're not friends
see,
no more.
exactly.
And that's just something different.
We not.
Exactly.
And I think it's because we're at that point, like, girl, we talk about everything. We could have talked about this. We could have talked this out. But you decided that you want to put your hands on me. You've been thinking about that for a very long time, my friend. You know what I'm saying?
You put your hands on me, it's done.
You've been thinking about that for a very long time. But before Coach Cotton called, I was still wanting to ask that question. Do you feel that when men don't have people to hold them to accountability, do you think that somewhat drives them to depression?
That's a deep question. Let me see. I'm just trying to really understand. So if I didn't have nobody to hold me accountable, does it drive you to depression?
Can it lead you to depression?
Can it lead you? Well, first off, I think a lot of different things can lead you to depression. I do think accountability can have a impact on that, but what I really think is men that don't have no expectations lead to depression. If nobody expect nothing of you, and you don't have a lot of people, just not men, a lot of people wasn't born with a natural drive, a natural ambition. Sometimes you get it from what people expect from you. So a lot of people who never expected to do anything or have nothing or don't have no passions, I think that leads to a lot of depression.
But that would also say that you would need somebody to
hold you accountable
in order for them to have expectations from
so
you.
Like,
so
I
didn't think about that. Yeah, well,
because like if I expect as a kid, you're expected to do your homework, regardless of if your mama is standing right there telling you to do it, regardless of if just because your teacher told you to do it. Like your teacher at the end of the day, make sure you do this. And so when you get back to school the next day, the expectation is for you to have your homework to turn in or whatever. But but you shouldn't have to. Regardless of if somebody's there to hold you accountable or not, there's still that expectation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a gateway. It's like a gateway drug to each other.
Yeah.
Accountability.
Yeah, you know what? Now that we unpacked it, then yeah, I think so. If you ain't got nobody to hold you accountable, then you on the road, you on the lane to be depressed because it's
you don't have an outlet. You have no one to talk to, right? You don't have no one to be like, yo, like this is not the right way. I need you to go this way, or to even pour into you. Because I also think like accountability is also pouring into someone's cup. You know what I mean? So, now, how do you deal with you holding up one of your friends accountable and them not taking it well or receiving it?
That goes back to like just being a part of the brotherhood or being part of my circle. If you can't call me, you vented. Then I asked you if you wanted advice or you wanted to vent, and you told me you wanted advice. Then I told you my advice, and then you still not like receiving it. Honestly, it just depends on what it is, because that's where your boundaries come in at. It's some things I draw the line on hard body. Like, hey,
like taking care of your kids would be something that you would not talk to your friend.
If you're not doing what you're supposed to do for your kid, you should not have the time to talk to me. You need to be out trying to figure out how to, like, why were you on the phone? Or every time we talk, guess what I'm gonna be trying to do? Help you in your situation so you can do what you're supposed to do. Because as my friend, you can't be tied to my name, being crazy. You know, you're not gonna be part of my circle, part of my brotherhood out, because that's gonna make me look bad.
Right.
You know, and people got to start taking that more serious. Like, who you are, look, NIL, name, image, likeness, that ain't just for the NCAA and stuff like that. This is life. This is your reputation. So anybody, like, Shay been on me a long time, anybody ever introduced to her or whatever, same to you, they've pretty much been stand up men. You know, everybody got flaws, of course, nobody perfect, but for the most part,
so they are a reflection of who you are.
100%.
Yeah, and in dating, I would definitely like judge somebody by their friends. That's just me.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna definitely judge you. Like,
I wouldn't say end all be all,
according to the the company that you keep.
100%.
Sorry about that. Okay. So another question I have. Would you say someone not taking accountability stop you being friends with them? Like, you cutting them all off, or you just saying that I'm not going to be that person you talk to every day? Because that's something that you said before, but like...
So I'm gonna say it like this, and I'm going to extend this to not only men, but I have women friendships as well.
Mm-hmm.
So really, that's subjective, because not everything that I think is right or believe in is what you believe in. Now, there are certain things, like you're not about to just be, like I said, taking care of kids, or let's do something a little bit different. Maybe I'm on a path of I want to build wealth for my family.
Right.
I'm trying to leave something behind. I'm trying to build a legacy, right? And let's just say I got a buddy who's comfortable with not doing nothing with his life, and that's okay. We need people working at McDonald's and stuff like that. That's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I can't talk to you every day because we just don't line. It's not that I don't want to. It's just it's not gonna happen. What are we talking about? Like, what do we have to talk about? I'm trying to focus on my future in this, and you doing this. Maybe we can text, and maybe a game come on, and you see the game or this and this and that. But it's levels. We probably won't be in-depth friends. You're not gonna be in my wedding. We're probably not gonna take trips together. But I can still go back home to Chicago and
what up? Like,
oh, it's good. Hey, what's up? Shake your hand and okay, nice. How you doing? So like I said, it's levels to that. But their name probably not tied to me either. When you think of D, you think of such and such, such and such, such and such, such and such, and they all got stuff going on because we all on the same wavelength. That's kind of how it is. Like, you got, like how Cotton said, acquaintances. Then you got your right hand man. You got your circle, and you got the guys that y'all really going to war. Guys you can call at 2 a.m. and we help me bury the bodies. Big old facts.
Okay, so we are coming to the end of the show. So we got some questions that Miss Bree,
I thought she was looking at it too.
No, I'm not looking at it.
Oh, okay.
No.
You can just look at that.
I'm looking at this, and I was looking at her to
So
do
you
the
didn't look
question.
at that phone one time.
No, I have.
Oh, okay.
I have. No.
Accountability.
I have.
Accountability.
I have.
She said she didn't. Hey.
No, you said right then and there. I said no at that time. Then you said at all, and I said yes. Those are two separate questions, sir.
Rewind the tape.
We gonna rewind. I'm gonna put it posted. It's still posted. Still posted. We still posted. Still posted. You know what? When I edit this video, I'm going to rewind. When you say rewind the tape, I'm going to rewind the conversation. I'm going to rewind the conversation. And if I am wrong, I'll be like, you know what, he was right. I'll you know what I mean?
That's
and we'll keep it,
right,
and we'll do that. Oh, I don't have a problem with accountability. I don't have a problem with saying somebody I'm wrong. My parents are Marines. There was no not having accountability in my house. There was no, well, I didn't do it.
We're going to talk about it. Today was about men, but women accountability.
Well, this is a show for women. But
man, look, we're going to get her and talk about.
No. Not
on this podcast.
This is a platform for men to speak their piece and speak freely, and women to understand and to finally listen. So therefore, when you can, but you will most likely won't get no feedback because it's not about us.
No,
it's about you.
I want to know. Because I ain't trying to go off till I know you about to close out.
Yes.
But it is way. I got female friends. I got male friends. It's way harder to women to be more accountable than us.
Yes, it is. I will say it's harder for women to be accountable. It is.
Why is that?
I don't know, but all I know is it's hard to.
Okay.
But also, I think it may have, like I said, it's certain type of people. You know what I mean? And I think some of it.
He keep looking at me because he think I got something to say. Listen, I think that I'm good with accountability. Like, if
I am too. Like, I'm okay with saying I'm sorry. Like, I'm bad. My bad. Yeah. So let's go and do those 6 questions.
You want me to do it?
I just said, Bree.
I didn't hear that. All right. Let's see. Question number 1.
I didn't.
No, him.
I was
Oh,
not
that's
looking at time. Look, tighten up.
Tight.
What is one emotion that you struggle to express and why?
Vulnerability.
And why?
Because it hurt.
Because it hurt.
That's the truth. At least he said the truth.
Yeah.
He said the truth.
All right. Number 2.
Mm-hmm.
What's a belief that you had about women or relationships that has changed as you've grown?
I gotta tell a story.
Go ahead. This is your platform right now. Go ahead.
So back when I was a youth, I was a youngin'. I used to think that all women were. I used to think only men cheated, and that women only cheated when the man wasn't doing what he was supposed to do.
Right.
Right. So here I am. I'm like 22 or whatever. I was dating. I don't know what to call it, but I was seeing a girl who had a boyfriend.
Okay.
And initially, usually when somebody's cheating on their man, or whatever, females give a reason like, oh, I don't really like him like that, or use him for money, or whatever the reason may be. He don't have sex, or whatever it is. For whatever reason, she never gave me a reason. She never talked bad about her dude, whatever. And I was at Rooms to Go. She went to Spelman. I was at Rooms to Go. She asked me to pull up the Rooms to Go with her, and this man paid. He sent her the money to furnish her whole apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I'm like, why she talking to me? Why she talking to me?
Mm-hmm.
Why is she even doing this? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked her one day, that day, I was like, why what are we doing? I say, why you must not like your boyfriend like that. I know I love my boyfriend. Then what are we doing? She said, oh, I like you too. And that was the moment everything switched for me. Like, oh, women do that too? So to answer your question, that's what changed. About some years ago, I realized
that women cheat for no reason too.
That women ain't shitty.
Well, I can't. No.
Let me stop. My fault. People. People.
All people are like
All
that.
people.
But I will tell you, women cheat. They always gonna have a reason why they cheat.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times this has to be taken over.
Mm.
And I think we talked about that. Once you got this, you got everything else. You see what I'm saying? So women have to have a reason, even if it's like, okay, I'm gonna mess with him. I'm gonna cheat on him because he got more money, and I'm gonna take that money and I'm gonna da 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 da. There's a reason why she's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I was broke.
So she was.
So she's like, you was
I
broke.
was broke. Barely had
So she was like, I gotta get mine, but I like him too. You know what I'm saying? Women do things. Women always have a reason to do things.
She just ain't tell you the truth.
Yeah, yes.
I'm gonna find her one day. Like, what? Because that, you changed my life that day. What's the real
Turn this
reason?
man into a demon. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh
Just
man.
out here,
I was like, what?
Just ruined him at a young age.
Stop.
Young
Stop.
tenderoni. I'm just saying what he said.
Oh Jesus.
All right, question number 3. What's something that men need to stop lying to themselves about?
We gonna these 5-leg parlays, guys. I'm gonna be serious. Something we need to stop lying to ourselves about. Send me these questions so I could think.
No. This is not.
So I could have prepared for I got here.
This is why we do this. It's supposed to be off top.
Some that we need to say it again.
Something you need to stop lying to yourself about.
Not the attitude.
Lying to yourself. What do men need to stop lying to themselves about?
You can say next question and we
Next
come back.
Okay, next
Let's go to
question.
the next
'Cause
one.
I don't know.
What advice would you give a younger version of yourself about love, life, or manhood?
What I'll tell my younger self is when people show you who they are, believe them.
Okay. What does accountability look like for you now?
Accountability looks like for me now is actually the best point of accountability I've ever been in. I just get to live in my truth and be 100% myself, and let everything else align. So these days I don't even have to hold my homies accountable because they already know what's going on. So yeah, that's my level of accountability right now. Just being a stand-up guy and everything aligning.
All right. Question number 6. If you could say one thing to women that are watching who want to understand men better, what would it be? One.
Men only want to be understood. Okay, so when your man is telling you something, always look for 2 things: the good intent behind it. Always look for the good, and always, even if you don't agree, seek to understand his side of the story or where he's coming from, and that's gonna take you like so far. Men just want to be understood.
All right. And what's something that men need to stop lying to themselves about? We're gonna bring that back so we can finish it.
Okay. Listen. The men need to stop lying to yourself about this. We only men. You got to bring value to the table. I don't know if you lying to yourself about this, but you're only as valuable as what you bring to the table. Okay, like you have to bring something. As men, you have to like chase your purpose and bring something to the table, and nobody's gonna love you. Only your mama's gonna love you if you come in empty-handed. So if you think that somebody owes you anything out here, you're wrong. Only time you're gonna get alignment is if you're chasing your dreams and you're conquering the world and you're doing what you're supposed to do. If you're a bum, nobody's gonna love you. So that's what you need to lie about. No, I'm just being real.
Nobody except your mama.
And nobody except your mama. Okay?
Can I say this real quick?
Go ahead.
That just seems to be like a overall thing from the last few shows about like how men, if like you need to be in alignment with your life purpose and all of that, like, and without that you would like pretty much y'all lost. Like you can't do anything else if you're not doing what you were brought to this earth to do. Like you're not gonna be happy with a relationship or in your career or anything like that if you're not walking in your purpose. So my advice, men that's listening, please find your purpose and stop coming out here wasting our time when y'all lost.
It's not about you, honey.
I'm just saying.
No,
if you wasting your own time,
you are wasting your own time.
You wasting your time too, or whatever. But we don't have to waste time together. Just
women attracted to passion. All a man got to do is be passionate about something, and that's gonna intrigue. Like, oh my god, oh yeah. That's all y'all got to do. Just go find something you like to do and do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will.
No.
Oh, okay. Did y'all know nearly 100 men die by suicide every single day in United States? That is more than 36,000 men every year, according to the CDC and Heads Up Guide. It's time that we talk about it. It's time that we give men the space to speak, be understood, and healed. Let's normalize men's mental health and make it okay for men to say, I'm not okay. And my question is, do you have someone that you can say, I'm not okay to?
God.
Okay. Well, I'm Toya V. You can follow me at This Is Toya Victorious. Go ahead, D.
Crown.Chief.
And Bree _Badu.
If you know someone or anyone or yourself is struggling or having a crisis and they need some help, in the USA, you can call or text 988 on your phone and you can get help. So we'll see you next Thursday at 8 p.m. Signing out. This is Logic Over Emotions. Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Hold the table, please.
Shake the table. Let me see.
Good show.
Thank you.